One of the worst things that can happen to you is losing somebody or not having a chance with somebody who you find attractive for something which you can control, such as your weight. Imagine not being with the woman of your dreams, or if you're a woman watching this, not being with the guy of your dreams because you're overweight, because they wouldn't look twice your way because you're not their dating preference. Imagine that. Over something you can control. Over something you can change. One of the biggest benefits I saw from getting in shape, just from a mental standpoint, was the fact that I was willing to walk away from anybody for any reason. I wasn't going to tolerate anybody disrespecting me. I wasn't going to tolerate anybody mistreating me. I wasn't going to tolerate anybody using me as a doormat. I wasn't going to tolerate anybody using me as the cuddly best friend. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. The guy that she vents to and the guy that she never ever gives the time of day. I was not going to be that guy. What's going on, guys? It is me, Nicholson. I'm back again with another video. Our people and girls are doing amazing, man. Shout out to all the new subscribers, all the new supporters, all the new weight loss. Fuck, our people and girls are actually doing amazingly, man. Today, we're going to be talking about why dating when you're fat is a terrible idea. Dating when you're fat is one of the worst experiences I've ever went through. I'm not even going to lie to you, bro. Like, I've been fat multiple times in my life, right? Both times the experience was different in slight ways, right? Obviously the first ever time was before I even went to the gym or anything like that, and it was like the first ever like fresh raw treatment off of being fat. And it was like, I've talked about that numerous times, right? But then also I gained weight from, letting myself go. You guys know the gist. And I became kind of fat again. I got to 117 kg. But the thing is, I was kind of bulky, as in like I had good muscle size to me, so I didn't look as terrible as I did the first time. But, we still looked a bit chunky. The first major reason why you shouldn't date when you're fat is your self-esteem is very low. When you're fat, you are literally at your least confident. The confident fat people that I've seen are usually putting on an act. There's a very small percentage of people that are genuinely confident when they're fat, and props to you. But usually, it's a fake persona. You're putting on this act to pretend like you're confident, and you might do it by overcompensating, by like having an over-the-top personality, or trying to be overly tough, or trying to be overly serious, to overcompensate for the fact that you're insecure within your appearance, So you have very low self-esteem, and having low self-esteem is a big issue when it comes to dating, right? Because think about it. When you have very low self-esteem, what are you more likely to do? You're more likely to not be fully confident and secure in a certain situation. So you constantly be needing constant reassurance, like excessive reassurance, because again, you aren't fully confident within yourself. Self-esteem is literally one of the main pillars when it comes to how you do everything on a day-to-day basis. If you have higher self-esteem, you're more likely to be smiley, you have more positive body language, you have more positive energy. But if you have low self-esteem, you're more likely to be moody, you're more likely to have negative body language, you're more likely to accept bad behavior from people, right? You see people that get walked all over, what are they? They have low self-esteem. Typically, people that get taken advantage of and people that get used and people that get mistreated are overweight. And one of the major reasons why is because of the self-esteem. That's probably the major reason why. Right? Because when you look in the mirror and you don't love what you see, like I'll be so honest, and please tell me if I'm lying. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Tell me if I'm lying. Every single person who's fat, if they could flick their fingers like this and be in shape, they would be. That's my personal belief. If you don't agree, let me know in the damn comments. But that's my personal belief. If you could click your fingers together like this, you would be in shape. If you could. But the thing is, it takes a lot of work that most people just aren't willing to put in to actually lose the fat and get into good shape that they're proud of. So they try making all these excuses like, hey, I love myself the way I am. Sure, buddy. Sure you do. Oh, of course. When you're not fully confident with who you see in the mirror when you wake up, and you don't smile, and you don't love your body, and you don't love yourself, you could be better. What would happen if I actually just stopped eating as much as I do? What would happen if I actually went to the gym and tried it? what would happen? A complete life switch. That's what would happen, right? So when you have low self-esteem, all of these negative things happen, and it's like, I believe you shouldn't date when you have low self-esteem, regardless of whether you're fat or not, because you will tolerate bad behavior from people. You will tolerate somebody walking all over you, because the thing is, when you have low self-esteem, people that are evil, which is a lot of people, can pick up on it, and they will use it against you. They will use it against you. They know you have low self-esteem and you don't believe you can pull somebody as good as them, or as good looking as them, or somebody who is just like them. They believe that, oh, you know what, this person can't do much better than me, so I'm gonna misbehave. Oh yeah, you ain't gonna do nothing about it, Betty. You ain't gonna do nothing about it. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Yeah, that's what I thought. You're gonna just take it, because again, you don't have the self-assuredness. You don't have the self-confidence. When you're somebody who's like self-assured and has self-confidence, they're like, I don't care whether you come or go. Do as you please. You disrespect me, you're out the door. You disrespect me, I'm out the door. You disrespect me and you don't, appreciate my boundaries, and you don't respect my boundaries. Sayonara, baby. Hasta la vista, baby. I will catch you in another lifetime when you pattern up, because that is not happening. One of the biggest benefits I saw from getting in shape, just from a mental standpoint, was the fact that I was willing to walk away from anybody for any reason. I wasn't going to tolerate anybody disrespecting me. I wasn't going to tolerate anybody mistreating me. I wasn't going to tolerate anybody using me as a doormat. I wasn't going to tolerate anybody using me as the best friend. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. The guy that she vents to, and the guy that she never ever gives the time of day. I was not going to be that guy when I got in shape. That's how my mindset was. I'm like, wait, I've got women who look at me in awe. And you think I'm going to be here pretending to be your best friend and all this BS? That's not happening. Right? That just ain't happening. You get what I'm saying? So once you get in shape, you will understand that when you have that self-assuredness, that self-confidence, dating becomes a whole other game. The game completely flips on its head, So that's the first thing. Self-esteem is at its all-time low. And that leads to all of those negative things which I spoke on, right? The second reason why you shouldn't date when you're fat, your preferences will change significantly. Let me say it quiet. Your preferences will change significantly. Significantly, okay? You will not like the same people that you like when you're fat. You see, this is one of the things about the human mind. You know when they say you are what you attract? Typically when you're fat, unless you're delusional, you can only pull a certain caliber of person, right? Somebody who, I'm not saying they necessarily has to be the same, as you, as in like overweight or anything like that, but you're not getting the person who you truly want. You can't, or you feel like you can't, right? And it shows in the way that you carry yourself, And it's a thing of like, once you get in shape, and by the way, this video is catered towards people who want to get in shape, and not people that are just cool with staying fat. Because if you're cool with staying fat, then this video is not for you. Like, believe me, it's not for you. But if you're somebody who's actively on the journey of getting in shape, which I commend, then yeah, this is the one for you, right? It's a thing of like, your preferences will genuinely change. Like, you could not pay me to date the same people I dated when I was fat. Respectfully. You could not pay me any amount of money to go back to those individuals. No offense to all of those women, but it's different now, okay? The levels are just different now. And I know that might sound arrogant and like crazy, but I'm just being completely honest. That's just what I can do. I can just be completely honest. That's the only thing I can do, right? It's like, even if you're a woman who's watching this, right? Can you seriously sit there and be like, you know what? I would go back to the same guys that I was dating when I was fat. Chances are you probably wouldn't, right? Because you start viewing more attractive people as attainable. Because now you're more attractive yourself, or at least you feel that way. Because again, that self-esteem thing that we talked about, Now you're like, I look good. And I've got people that look good who think I look good. I've got people that I actually am attracted to who think I'm attractive too. Well, damn. See what I'm saying? So one of the worst things that can happen, right? And I hate that this happens, but it is a thing. You guys will have probably seen this online, like quite a lot. Have you ever seen those stories where there's a couple who, let's say, they were both overweight, right? And then one person gets in shape, could be the man or the woman. They get in shape, but then the partner stays the same. Do those relationships last? Just this is the question for you guys in the comments. Do those relationships last? Because I know damn well they don't. And why do you think that is? Because now you can attract higher quality individuals. This isn't talking about somebody's personality, by the way. This is not talking about somebody's character. Because let's not go down the road of talking about, oh, but I'm a good person. Oh, but I'm this. Life ain't fair. That's one thing that's one lesson that I need everybody to take in. Life is not fair. Life doesn't care if you're a good person. Be a good person, please. Like, we don't want no more. We don't want no evil individuals in the world. Allow them. But life genuinely, like, it's a ruthless thing. And the dating marketplace is a very ruthless place as well. Right? It's a very ruthless place. Like, the reason why I want to motivate so many of you people to get in shape is because I don't want you to go through that experience that I went through, where I was, dating people I didn't really want to date because that's all I could really do, right? Like, being mistreated and just having to take it, right? And this has nothing to do with, like, I mean, it does have something to do with self-respect, which is another thing we're going to touch on too. But it's just a thing of, like, a lot of people just aren't into fat people, and you can't blame them. So, for example, for me, right, there's women who I was like, damn, she's bad. If only I could ever have a chance with her one day. And this is before I got in shape. Get in shape. She's cool. She's cool. And the roles have flipped now as well, because those same people that I used to find really, really attractive, they're just okay now. They're all right, right? Now it's like I'm onto higher quality women, way higher quality. Do you know how good it feels when the person who you're attracted to is attracted to you, and you're not having to settle for mediocrity in your eyes? It's one of the best feelings ever. It's genuinely one of the best feelings ever, right? And one of the worst things that can happen to you is losing somebody or not having a chance with somebody who you find attractive for something which you can control, such as your weight. Imagine not being with the woman of your dreams, or if you're a woman watching this, not being with the guy of your dreams because you're overweight, because they wouldn't look twice your way because you're not their dating preference. Imagine that. Over something you can control. Over something you can change. You see, if it's your facial features, you can't change that, right? Well, plastic surgery. But if it's, there's certain things you can't change, which you shouldn't have to change anyway. But if it's something as controllable as weight, really? You're going to miss out on a good person, on a good opportunity because you couldn't pattern up your diet, because you couldn't do your cardio, because you didn't want to be in shape? I don't know about you, but when I look at it like that, I'm like, yeah, I gotta lock the fuck in, bro. I gotta lock the fuck in. Damn. So we're gonna go into the third thing, right? You develop more self-respect as you get in shape. As you get in shape, you're going to see that you develop more self-love and more self-respect, which self-respect ties in to the self-esteem thing as well, and it also ties in to the dating preferences as well. Because when you have more self-respect for yourself, you would never allow yourself to go for somebody who's a level below you. Although, on a human level, like, I don't believe I'm a better human than anybody, or I'm a worse human than anybody, like, on a human level. But if we're talking attractiveness, there's levels to this shit. If we're talking compatibility, there's levels to this shit. There are certain people who are better compatible or more compatible for you than other people. There are people who are more attracted to you than other people. There's levels to this shit, right? When I say, oh, you would never go for somebody who's beneath you, I am not talking about humanity, because I'm not an evil person. I'm not somebody who's like so full of themselves to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm better than you because I'm not fat and you're fat. No, like, I'm talking strictly because of, like, attractiveness and behaviors and all of these different things, self-esteem. There's levels to that, right? We can rank those things. But on a human level, like whether somebody is fat or not, like you shouldn't ever think you're better than somebody, right? On a human level, okay? But we're talking dating. Oh hell yeah, I'm better than you. I'm just playing. Okay, I've been in your shoes. Believe me, like I want you to get in shape. Okay, I'm not. You know what it is, right? Your dating life becomes better as a side effect. It shouldn't be the main reason why you want to get in shape. You know, as a side effect, it's going to become better, right? That's what I want you to understand, man. So you need to lock it in, man. Right? Like, and also one thing you need to understand, yeah, this is kind of off topic, but to deviate away from dating a little bit, you'll have better friends, better quality people in your life when you're in shape. You will. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, your people, you need to understand something, right? When you have low self-esteem, you're scared to walk away from people. You're scared to be selective because you don't think you can do better. But what having that self-esteem that you gain, right? And keyword is gain. I'm going to come back onto that. What having that self-esteem that you gain does to you is it elevates that fear. It removes that fear, right? That fear of, oh damn, what if I'm alone? So be it. I would rather be alone than be disrespected constantly because of people being like, oh, well, you're fat, so, you know, you've got to just take this. No, I'm going to be in shape and I'm not going to have you in my life either because you're a piece of shit. It's just very simple, you know? Self-love attracts love, right? If you want love, you need to love yourself. If you want to attract people who love you and people who care for you, you need to care and love for yourself. Life is literally like a mirror. Everything you have in your life is a mirror. The people you have are a mirror, right? Every single thing in your life is a mirror reflection of you. You know? So you need to understand, yeah, that like we want to attract. We're not chasing. Imagine chasing yourself in a mirror. And remember, like I'm talking metaphorically, so don't let this go over your head. But imagine you're looking in a mirror and you're trying to chase, right? You're gonna bump into yourself and you're not gonna even get anywhere. You won't even get close. So close yet so far. We attract, we don't chase, right? This is a mindset which you will develop over time. And when I say you gain self-esteem, it's gained through hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. You do not buy self-esteem, right? You don't. Like, some people think, oh yeah, you know what? Like, for example, my hairline is cooked, bro. Like, look at my hairline, right? You see how cooked that shit is? The edges, cooked. But guess what? My self-esteem isn't affected at all. Why? Because I'm fully confident in who I am. Things like a hairline or having a chipped tooth or having, you know, a patchy beard or whatever feature you may think that I don't really want to change. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect me, right? In a negative way, because I intrinsically love myself, right? And if somebody doesn't want to fucking date me because I have a fucking, you know, receding edges, I have a chipped tooth, I have a fucking double shotgun nose, so be it. Let it be, you know? So, yeah. Anyways, to summarize, man, like just on some serious shit, like no joking shit, get in shape before you focus on dating. Like, I'm not, you know, when you're fat, yeah, even when you're not fat, you can date or you can get to know people, but I wouldn't recommend like investing in dating as like a main priority or one of your main priorities. Dating should be like on the back burner as you're sorting yourself out, you know, getting yourself into good shape, getting your mind right, you know, getting your fashion sense right, like just improving every aspect of your life, getting your money up, improving every aspect of your life, and then at some point, your people finna come. So yeah, you made it to the point of the video. Comment microphone because I'm using a microphone. DJI. Come on now. But yeah, really appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below what you want to see next. And on that note, I'll catch you soon.